立てて弔うてやろう。恩師が二度と生まれてこぬよ。
Possibly one of, if not the, first Zanpakuto to ever grace existence. Ichimonji, wielded by Royal Guard member Ichibe Hyosube, in its sealed form takes the shape of a large calligraphy brush. Its user being an accomplished calligrapher responsible for the names of almost everything in Soul Society. Ichimonji allows the user to bring this power into reality. By drawing kanji characters in the air, Ichimonji creates powers relating to the meaning carried in the calligraphy. Examples of this would be when Ichibe signs the seal for conceal, which is able to hide large objects, even the entirety of the Soul King's palace, from view. Or the sign for seal, which creates a barrier that cannot be crossed. Even in a sealed state, when being cut by Ichimonji, a victim, instead of being physically harmed, has whatever was sliced decreased in power, its name severed. For example, meaning if Ichimonji strikes an opponent's arm, that arm loses attack power because the limb's name arm was cut down and reduced to R instead. Only 2/3 of its original self remaining. Released with the command blacken, the Zanpakuto transforms into a brush shape to that of a shorter glade, the top portion of which has a small single-edged blade that resembles the tip of a chokuto. A halo of black ink is created behind Ichibe. As Ichimonji is swung around in Shikai form, black ink is released into the area. Anything coated in this ink loses its name, and therefore all of its power. Ichimonji's main ability is its control over black. Upon release, all of the color black, whether the things themselves be animate or inanimate, are subjugated to his will. Even if all of this power is somehow reflected back at him, it cannot bring any harm to the user. Ichimonji wields the power of all black in the entire universe, so even if stolen, it will eventually be restored to Ichibe. Because Ichimonji was the very first Zanpakuto to ever evolve into a second release state, Ichibe does not refer to this power as Bankai, despite it being essentially the same thing in spirit. Activated by the command Shinuchi, the blade of Ichimonji's brush becomes pale white, creating a long, thick thread that coils up in the air above the user, known by the name Shirafude Ichimonji. When in this state, Ichibe is able to give a new name or change the existing name of any who have been touched by Ichimonji's ink. Through renaming, Ichimonji gives the victim all the properties or abilities of the newly gifted title. By writing the kanji for something such as horsefly on an opponent, the victim would become as frail and defenseless as the insect. Ichimonji's final attack, Futen Taisatsuro, summons a massive blanket of darkness from the surrounding area, which the user then fills up a cup with, before drinking that very blackness directly. After a short incantation, a gigantic mausoleum sitting atop shattered graves emerges from the dark. This technique assimilates any and all black from their opponent, stealing every ounce of darkness from them, including their flesh, blood, and bones, until literally nothing whatsoever remains of their existence. A demise so absolute, reincarnation should not even be possible. While not so much the strongest Zanpakuto by offensive means, with the ability to subjugate existence itself, or just change any physical or metaphysical property at the swipe of a hand, I really don't see any other Zanpakuto contending with this one. Ichimonji defies the laws of physics, and if its one and only opponent wasn't the Almighty, perhaps it would have made a much larger impression. Nevertheless, able to change the name of any Zanpakuto on this list to Dog Turd, and control the literal embodiment of black itself. There is not a single Shikai or Bankai on this list that stands a lick of a chance against the strongest Zanpakuto in Bleach, Ichibe Hyosube's Ichimonji.